What's going on, guys? Boss6 here, back to your video, and today, here to give you guys my NFL Week 17 predictions. Already at Week 17. In case you guys don't know, I'm doing this a little bit later on. It is currently 9:30 right now where I'm at. I just got off work about an hour ago, and I wanted to crank this bad boy out before Christmas Eve comes out and all that stuff, so that way, if you guys are bored, you want to watch these predictions, feel free to do it. And of course, happy holidays, everyone. Hope everyone has a good holidays, good Christmas, all that fun stuff. I can't believe it. Christmas is literally 2 days away. I don't know how the hell that's possible. But week 16 just got done wrapping up, and we are on to week 17. We practically know what most of the playoff proceedings are going to be. There's still a couple teams that are kind of battling out for the number one seed, especially in the NFC. The AFC is basically all set in stone in some cases. So, yeah, this was going to be some interesting games here. So, without further ado, let's kick off the first of 3 Christmas games. And all these games are going to be ass and basically pointless. Starting off with the first pointless game, we have an NFC East matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Commanders. The Cowboys got done getting their asses kicked from the LA Chargers, and they have been eliminated from the playoffs due to the fact that Philly just beat Washington on Saturday. And Dallas right now, I mean, this team just, they tried, but my God, the defense is complete dog shit. Dak Prescott did everything he could, but ultimately it was all for naught in the very end. Meanwhile, Washington, on the other hand, they got their asses kicked by Philly, although it was a sneaky close game at half, considering that Philly was actually down by 3 in the half. But once Marcus Mariota went out and Josh Johnson had to come into the game, it was all downhill for Washington. And Washington has just been having a season from hell right now. None of the trades and none of the moves they made are working at all. And it just sucks. And hopefully Jayden Daniels can come back fully healthy, no, bad injuries or any of that. Hopefully he has a really good NFL career. But the injuries are going to keep plaguing him. Then unfortunately he's going to be RG3, and we don't want another situation like that. So, considering that both of these teams are literally just playing for a draft position, I guess I'll go with Dallas because at least they have something resembling an offense. This game's meaningless as all hell. So, yeah, Dallas is going to win. Nothing really changes, so moving on there. So, from one division matchup to another, we have the NFC North now between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. The Lions, yeah, the playoff proceedings and the playoff picture just got a lot more dire because, good Lord, that was a pitiful performance they had against the Steelers. And they were almost winning at the very end, but unfortunately some bullshit had to happen because, well, it's Detroit and Pittsburgh, so take that for what you will. But the Lions right now, their offense just could not get anything going. Jahmyr Gibbs really couldn't get anything going. The defense is better beyond belief. And if you're a Lions fan, I know you guys are, grieving over the fact that the season has been pretty much a nightmare from start to finish. I'd say it's understandable why you guys look as rough as you do because they're just going through the motions right now. No Sam Laporta, no Brian Branch, no Kirby Joseph, no Terrion Arnold. Most of your secondary is banged up. Ben Johnson moved on to go to the Bears. Aaron Glenn's with the Jets. You're trying to somewhat piece things together with John Morton as the OC. That didn't work out. Campbell's now calling plays. And Kelvin Shepherd has his moments, but he's just without most of his guys. And while they have stepped up in some capacity, they've just been dropping off due to injuries. So shit happens. You're going to have a season like that. But I still think Detroit are contenders. It's just they just need to figure stuff out, and hopefully they will do that in the upcoming draft and maybe in the possible offseason. Meanwhile, Minnesota right now, I mean, you beat the Giants, so I guess that counts for something. But J.J. McCarthy got hurt yet again. And now Max Brosmer is going to be the starting quarterback. Yeah. Last time I picked Detroit, they lost to the Vikings, but I'm still going to go with Detroit here. Because if Detroit wins out and Green Bay loses all of their games, then that means Detroit's going to get the final wild card seed. But I'll talk about the Green Bay game here in just a little bit. So yeah, it's not looking all that great for Detroit right now, but Detroit's just the better team on paper. I don't think Max Brosner's really going to be the guy. And Minnesota's been having kind of a nightmarish season as well. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Detroit here. No harm, no foul. And then we have the final division matchup on Thursday Night Football. We've got the Denver Broncos versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, God. Both these teams came away with a ass-kicking. Denver got ass-blasted by the Jacksonville Jaguars in a game that was very confusing considering that the defense was able to sack Lawrence a handful of times, but they just could not stop the air game, and they just really couldn't stop Lawrence at all, which is very, very, very bizarre. The offense was, it was the offense. It was what it was. But my main concern going into that game was the defense. Like, I don't know what the hell the defense was doing, but it just wasn't really doing anything in the outside of things. And I hope Pat Bryant's okay because that was a pretty bad hit that he took near the end of the game. So, it was just a concussion he suffered, but yikes, that looked really, really, really bad. Speaking of bad, the Chiefs. Oh, good God. I didn't think it got worse, but somehow it did. Not only did you get blown out, essentially, by the fucking Titans of all teams, but you lost Gardner Minshew due to injury. A torn ACL. Not to mention, not most of the starters were in that game. I believe Rashee Rice was out of the game with an injury. Travis Kelce didn't even get the ball. And your third-string quarterback is Chris Oladokun. Who? Or Oladokun? Who? Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly. I guess he was a pick in the, like a 6th round pick in 2022 or 2021. Yeah, that kind of says a lot. Yeah, this is going to be an ass kicking. The Broncos are going to win. I don't see the Chiefs winning this game. The Chiefs just look like shit. Ever since Mahomes went down with injury due to, ironically, a torn ACL, the Chiefs have just looked like shit. So, goes to show you that your franchise guy is literally holding you together with fucking duct tape and glue. And when he goes down, that means the entire team goes down. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Broncos with this one. They're just the better team on paper. This is basically going to be a get-right game for them. They already clinched the playoffs. They still have the number 1 seed, but they're starting to look a little bit suspect. So I'm going to go with Denver here. No harm, no foul. Then we get to the Saturday games. For Saturday game, we have the Houston Texans versus the LA Chargers, a AFC wildcard matchup from last year's playoffs. The Texans came away with a sneaky close victory over the the Las Vegas Raiders, I should say, in a game that was, again, sneakily close. The Raiders were in the game for most of the entire time. They let Ashton Jeanty just run all over the defense, but thankfully the offense actually came in clutch and managed to beat the Raiders. Meanwhile, the Chargers, on the other hand, they got done manhandling the Cowboys, in a game where finally, for the first time all season, Justin Herbert did not take one single sack, which is somewhat impressive considering that sometimes that the Cowboys defense can get some pressure, but they didn't in that game for some weird reason. But yeah, the Chargers right now are looking really damn good. Unfortunately, they are losing some linemen. Denzel Perryman got suspended for some fucking reason. They are losing some linemen and some of their defense, which I'm a little bit suspect of and a little bit questionable for. But I do think this could be a pretty solid game, all things considered. It's two really damn good defenses battling it out, and I'm curious to see how this game is going to go. It is being played in LA as well. You know what? I'm going to give it to the Chargers here, only because they have something resembling an offense, but I think Herbert's going to fucking die behind that line, so I'm going to give it to the Chargers just to sneak it out because I just don't trust Houston's offense at all. So I'm going to give it to LA, but I do think that I wouldn't be shocked if Houston somehow comes away with the victory there. And then for Saturday Night Football on NBC, we've got the Baltimore Ravens versus the Green Bay Packers. Both these teams came away with some pretty brutal losses. And my God, the Ravens, can you for once stop ravening? Because Jesus fucking Christ, this happens every single goddamn year with this team. I don't fucking get it with it. You have, like, okay, I get it. Lamar was banged up and he got hurt in the game with a back injury. Why the fuck are you not putting Derrick Henry out there? Seriously, if you saw my live stream, I was pissed at that game. And Zay Flowers, you know, it's actually kind of funny that I found out that Zay Flowers was actually born on September 11th, 2000. He secretly caused 9/11. You want to know why? Because he's actually a terrorist on terms of the offense. Dude, just fucking go down or have forward progress with the ball and stop trying to fucking juke guys. Because you're going to get the ball knocked out of your hands. Jeez Louise. And you had a good game too, but you fucked it up at the very end. So yeah, the Ravens right now look like shit. Again, Lamar's going to be out, so Tyler Huntley's going to be in. And for the Packers, oh my, that was an ugly fucking loss they had against the Bears. Not only did you choke away a game, you choked a game away with 5 minutes left. That was a 10-point game, and you somehow choked it and went in overtime, and you lost. So many things went wrong for, went wrong for the Packers. Losing Jordan Love due to concussion was pretty bad. The fumbles were really, really, really bad, especially the one with Josh Jacobs that was, I think, fumbled on the 5-yard line. That was really bad. So many missed opportunities. Hell, even in overtime, Malik Willis had a fumbled snap, and they couldn't convert on 4th down. There were so many missed opportunities, and it all started off with a game-winning touchdown from the hands of DJ Moore and a fucking dime that was thrown by Caleb Williams. And things are pretty dire in Green Bay right now. But there is a positive side to this. If they are going to beat the Ravens here, they're going to eliminate Detroit from the playoffs. And they would love to do that to a division rival. So, this is not going to be a good game. I don't think this is going to be a good game at all. I think this game is going to be pretty fucking ugly, all things considered. So, I don't want to say this because I know there's some Detroit fans that really watch my channel, but I got to go with Green Bay with this one. I just don't trust the Ravens at all, dude. I really, really, really don't trust the Ravens at all. And again, Lamar is out, so you know you're kind of fucked when Lamar is out. So it's not looking pretty for you at all. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Packers for this one. Sorry, Ravens, but don't fucking choke a lead next time, and maybe we will talk. Then we get to the Sunday game. Starting off, we have a battle for Florida. We've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Miami Dolphins. The Bucs came away with a heartbreaking loss to the Carolina Panthers, where they should have won the game, but Baker unfortunately threw a game-ending pick, and Todd Bowles is not going to be staying there for long because his ass is most likely going to be gone after this season, because if they lose this game to a team that is starting Quinn Ewers and where he looked okay at best, then they are fucked beyond belief because, yeah, Miami got 45 fucking points hung on them by the Bengals, and it just looked terrible for them. The only good thing that came out of it was Avon Achane, and that's literally about it. But my God, Miami is so doomed. And both these teams are kind of fucked because, Tampa Bay, they had a chance to win the division, but they pissed in themselves. And Miami, yeah, the Dolphins didn't really have that much of a chance. So, yeah, it's not going to be a pretty game whatsoever. So, while it is being played in Miami, I'm going to give Tampa the win here. But if they lose, then, oh boy, it is not going to be fun at all. It's going to be an ugly fucking press conference. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Tampa Bay, but I would not really be shocked if Miami wins, considering how bad Tampa is right now. So, Tampa gets the victory, but I'm not too confident about it. Speaking of not being confident, next up we've got an AFC North matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Brownies. The Steelers came away with a questionable win, to say the least. against the Detroit Lions, where, yeah, nothing really monumental happened. It's not like Aaron Rodgers was balling out. Kenneth Gainwell had the he did what in this generation. And it's not that DK Metcalf totally did not punch a fan only because the fan said his actual name. Totally did not do that. And it's not like Metcalf's going to be suspended for the rest of the season. Nah, not with 2 games left and the division's on the line. It's not like he's going to piss himself away and just do all that. Right? That's so unlike DK Metcalf. I mean, come on now. But yeah, the Steelers were able to get away via bullshit, and yeah, I mean, it's the Steelers, dude. You're going to get what you're going to get with Pittsburgh. It's a never-ending story for them. Meanwhile, the Browns had a very close game against the Bills, actually, funnily enough. But my God, Shedeur fucking sucks. He is not good. He is not ready for the NFL, in my opinion. He still needs to develop. And, yeah, this game is not going to be pretty at all. This is going to be a very, 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 very ugly game. And Pittsburgh should win this game, but they always manage to fail in Cleveland. Like, they always play rough in Cleveland for some weird reason. But the Browns are terrible. They always will be. This is their 5th rebuild in about 2 years. So, yeah, I'm going to give this to the Steelers here. No harm, no foul. Moving on. Oh, boy. Rev up the engines, folks, because we ourselves a tank bowl. We have the New Orleans Saints versus the Tennessee Titans. The Saints, well, you beat the Jets, but that's not saying anything. Tyler Shuck's looking good, I think. They might roll with him. He might be the guy. I mean, it kind of sucks for Spencer Rattler, but, you know, it is what it is. But both these games came away with a victory. The Titans really impressed me. Even though, yeah, you're going up against Casey's backups, but hey, it was the best game that Cam Ward's played all season. And Tony Pollard, give him credit. He's starting to pop off a little bit here. But yeah, that was by far the biggest win of the Titans season this year, knocking off the remaining AFC champions, even if they are down pretty bad right now. But hey, take what you get, and that's all I'm going to say here. Yeah, this game's not going to be good. This is going to be a very ugly game. I guess the Saints are going to win. The Titans really don't have anything really going for them right now. So, yeah, I mean, the Saints are probably going to have a mid 6-win record at most. Really should have embraced the tank, but I mean, if Shuck is going to be the guy going forward, I'm curious how he's going to be, but he's not really the franchise guy if you ask me. So, yeah, I'm going to give it to the Saints. They got some momentum going for them, I guess. Following that, we've got the Seattle Seahawks versus the Carolina Panthers. This was back in 2014. This would have been a barn burner, but unfortunately, it is not. We are long past the days of Russ versus Newton. We are now living in a world of Sam Darnold versus Bryce Young. Hooray. The Seahawks were able to get a big win over the Rams and a potential game of the year contender where the Seahawks were down pretty bad. Darnold threw 2 pretty bad picks. But they came back and tied it up and even won in overtime. So, Seattle, say what you will about them, they're on a really damn good run right now. And I will say this, their jerseys they wore, not too shabby. I actually did not mind those jerseys. I know some people didn't like them. I thought they were fine for what they wore. I've seen a lot worse, though. I would have liked to see their old throwback jerseys, but their new ones aren't too terrible. But anyways, yeah, the Seahawks, can you trust Sam Darnold? Yes and no. It's kind of up in the air. It's up for interpretation, but when he comes through in the clutch, he comes through in the clutch. So they currently have the number 1 seed right now and currently are winning the division right now. If they're going to have to continue it, they not only got to beat the Panthers, but they also got to beat the 49ers, and that's going to be a big, tough task there. Meanwhile, Carolina, hey, they clinched. They are winning the division. This is the first time they are winning the division since 2015. Yeah, it's been about 10 years since they last won the division, and ironically, that was the last time they went to the playoffs and went to the Super Bowl, but they had to face the 2015 Broncos. But, yeah, the Panthers won. They don't really scare me at all. They're just going to get bounced in the first round, but I guess it's somewhat of a feel-good moment, but somebody's going to win that terrible fucking division. My God. That division is so ass. It's not even funny. So, while the Panthers have momentum going for them right now, I'm going to pick Seattle because they have a shit ton of momentum right now. They're white hot right now. And say what you will about Darnold, hey, he's going to come in clutch one way or the other, and I think he's going to get his revenge over his former team. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Seattle because they just have a lot of momentum going for right now. And Panthers fans, sorry. Speaking of the South, next up we have an AFC South matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts. The Jags with the upset of the week, in my opinion, by not just beating, but getting their shit in against the Broncos. Like, I figured that Jacksonville was going to put up a fight, but I think Denver was just going to be the better team. Oh no, Jacksonville just came in swinging, and they did not miss whatsoever. Because, yeah, that was a hell of a performance. And dude, say what you will, this has been the best stretch of games Trevor Lawrence has had ever in his NFL career. Like, he is really showing that superstar potential that we all thought he was going to have coming out of Clemson. And you know what? I got to feel happy for Jags fans because this is the best the team has looked since, 2017 when they had Saxonville. Like, this team is fucking gritty. Even though we still don't fully know what they are, that was a statement win they had over the Broncos. And I'm actually a little bit excited to see what they are. Jacoby Myers is having dividends. They are really, really, really honing their craft. And yeah, as long as Lawrence doesn't really fuck up and just plays consistently good football, I think they're going to have themselves a good time with this one. And meanwhile, the Colts, well, you put up a fight. Which I could certainly respect, but unfortunately, the Niners were just way too much for them. I will say this though, Phillip Rivers was balling out until the pick six happened. But no, in all seriousness, Phillip Rivers did not actually play that bad of a game. Like, I thought he was just going to be okay at best. But no, he was still showing that he could still hang, despite the fact he is not the guy that he once was, even back in his LA days. But, hey, at least he's being entertaining and not boring. And despite the Colts are having a massive fall from grace, especially how they were earlier in the season, I'll say this. This is the most entertaining that Indy has been in a fucking dog's age. So I'll take that over whatever the hell they usually do. So while the Colts are having a free fall and the Jags are having a lot of momentum for them right now, I hate to say it, Colts fans, but it just has not been pretty to you in the past couple of weeks. So I'm going to give it to Jacksonville here. Even though that I think the Colts might play spoiler here, I'm going to give it to the Jags because they just got a lot of momentum going for them right now. And again, Indy is playing some at least complimentary football, but I gotta go with the Jags here, man. They're just having a lot of fun right now. Following that, we have AFC East matchup between the New England Patriots versus the New Jersey Jets. The Patriots coming off with a big comeback win over the Ravens, where it wasn't looking all that great for New England. Drake May did throw a pick that did look pretty bad. Trey Van Henderson unfortunately got banged up in the game, which that really fucked me over in more ways than one. And it just did not look great for New England. But that second half kicked in. Yeah, that's when shit really started getting good. Drake May was just balling out. Potential MVP? Maybe. I think they're going to give it to Stafford personally, and I do think Stafford does deserve the MVP because he's just been balling out lately. But the Pats right now, they're playing some dang good football, and that's all you can really say. And the Jets right now, you got Brady Cook as your quarterback. That's all I got to really say. Yeah, Brady Cook is fucking terrible. Yeah, he sucks. Apparently Justin Fields hurt his knee, so he's out of the season. Thanks for coming, Fields. Yeah, no, the Pats are going to win. Don't really need to say anything else. No, not really. Didn't think I needed to. Oh, boy. Speaking of which, you know what? Fuck it. This is the Tank Bowl. Rev up the engines, boys, because we ourselves another Tank Bowl. we've got the Arizona Cardinals versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Good fucking grief. This is not going to be a good game at all. The Cardinals, they try to make it somewhat close against the Falcons, but the Falcons just kicked their ass from pillar to post in a game that wasn't really close until the very end. Meanwhile, Cincy, on the other hand, you put up 45 points against the Dolphins, but it really didn't mean anything. There's rumors Joe Burrow might leave. Henderson's probably going to be gone. Just the Bengals are just going through the shitter right now, and I feel bad, but the organization feels like they don't give a shit, so why should I personally? But I just feel bad for Burrow, dude. He just wants to play football. He wants to win. That's all he wants to do. But yeah, the Cardinals don't have anything going for them right now. The Cincinnati's defense is fucking dog water. I guess Cincy, because at least they have something going for them. But yeah, no, this game's not gonna be good. So I'm gonna go with the Bengals. Nothing more, nothing less. Oh boy. This isn't just going to be your regular Tank Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Super Tank Bowl between the New Jersey Giants and the Las Vegas Raiders for the first overall pick, because both these teams are fucking trash. At least with the Giants, though, they are entertainingly trash. I will say that because the Raiders are fucking terrible this year. I might go as far as to say this might be worse than their 06 campaign. And that's saying something considering they have Randy Moss on that team. Good God. But anyways, yeah, the Giants, they lost to the Vikings. I don't know if Jackson Dart's really the guy, which sucks, but he ain't looking great. Now, I get it that he's been battling concussions and he doesn't have any weapons and so on and so forth. But yeah, the Giants just look like shit right now. And the Raiders, I'll say this, that was one of Ashton Gentry's best games, but that's saying literally fucking nothing. Yeah, this is going to be a terrible game. I guess the Giants, both these teams don't want to win. And they don't want to lose either. So I guess the Giants are going to win, because even if they win, they might trade down, might give it to maybe the Jets or maybe the Raiders. But yeah, no, this game's going to be fucking gloriously bad. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Giants, I guess. No harm, no foul. But we have a complimentary piece to that shithole of a game. We've got the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Buffalo Bills, a game that is very much anticipated, but I'm a little concerned about the Bills right now, and I'll get to that here in a second. But meanwhile, Philly, even when they win, they find some ways to irritate the shit out of me. Apparently, Jake Elliott can't kick a field goal to save his life. They fumbled on the fucking kickoff, no less, and they were down 10-7 to the Washington Commanders. Their offense is ass, and they didn't do anything until literally halfway through the third, they finally did something. Like, it was fucking ridiculous. Again, I don't understand how this team looks so good on paper, but you don't fucking execute anything. It's insane. So yeah, while Philly has clinched the division, they don't look convincing at all whatsoever. Meanwhile, the Bills, on the other hand, that was a little too close for comfort, if you ask me, against the Browns. But to be fair, the Browns defense is pretty damn good. But also, Josh Allen didn't look great in that game. He actually got banged up with a foot injury, but they are saying that he is going to play, so might want to take that into a factor there. James Cook had himself a hell of a game, though, but unfortunately the offense stalled out in the second half for some weird reason. But yeah, the Bills right now are kind of have a weird season where they'll look great for about 2 games and then look like dog shit for like 3. I don't really know. I guess they're just a second half team, I'm guessing. I'm not 100% sure. This is being played in Buffalo, though. And Josh Allen is 0 for 2 against Philly in his entire career. So he has not beaten Philly yet. I think it's going to be 0-3. I'm sorry. I just don't trust that defense right now. But also, Philly's offense has been very fucking stagnant this season. So It depends on how both teams are going to play and what versions of teams are we going to show up. Because the last time both these teams played, they were balling out, and the Bills had a missed opportunity to win that game. That was in 2022, I believe. Was it 22? No, it was 2023, I believe. So, yeah, I'm curious how this game's going to go. But I do think Philly's going to take the victory here. I just have a weird feeling that they are. I think Allen's going to ball out as much as he can. I think James Cook's going to have himself a hell of a game. It just depends on if Philly's offense is going to show up. Because if it shows up, then they aren't going to be stopping until the fat lady comes home. So, yeah, I think the Eagles are going to win this game. I just don't know if I can trust Buffalo's defense right now. So, I'm going to pick Philly. But if the Bills win, that is a huge fucking momentum swinger for them. And then we got a Sunday night game that has a lot going for it right now. We've got the Chicago Bears versus the San Francisco 49ers. The Bears with a massive comeback and the ultimate fuck you to the Green Bay Packers because they ultimately got the last laugh. Now, I will say, they couldn't do shit in that first half, especially with the offense. The offense really just couldn't do anything. Caleb Williams was just kind of doing nothing. They couldn't really get the run game going. They really couldn't do anything. Up until the fourth quarter where they finally started to do something, Williams was starting to hit some nice throws, especially to Colston Loveland. But that defense, though, helped them in that game, and they should thank Romeo Doubs because they're secretly handing them Christmas cards saying, thanks for not recovering the onside kick, because that was a masterful performance against Romeo Doubs and not catching the ball. Gee, you're going to tell me that Green Bay failed to recover an onside kick and gave up a game-winning drive? Pff, that's never happened before. But yeah, I do got to say, though, that bomb that Caleb Williams threw to DJ Moore, mwah, chef's kiss. So yeah, the Bears have a lot of momentum going for them right now. They essentially clinched the North, and who knows? They could potentially take the number 1 seed. We'll have to see how everything goes. Meanwhile, the Niners right now, they got done beating the shit out of the Indianapolis Colts. Purdy had himself a masterful game, threw for 5 touchdowns. Yeah, he did have a pick, which is pretty bad, but yeah, everything looked great. Unfortunately, I'm a little concerned about George Kittle. I think he did get hurt in the game. I believe it was some kind of ankle injury that he suffered. So him coming to the game is a little bit questionable. And the Niners defense, they were able to stop Jonathan Taylor, but they weren't able to stop Tyler Warren, Josh Downs, and so on and so forth. So they weren't really stopping a lot in that game. They were allowing Rivers to throw the ball down the field a lot. So there's that. But I do think that the Niners do have a lot of momentum going for them right now. CMC had himself a hell of a game. George Kittle was doing really good up until he got injured. Purdy was playing great. Jawan James has some nice catches. It all depends on which versions of teams show up. I do think this is going to be a gritty game. Fuck. This one's going to be tough, dude. This is going to be a tough game to predict. But I am going to go with the Bears. I just have a feeling that if they stop CMC and if they're able to get the Purdy, I think they will win this game because I will say the Bears' offense has really been nothing to sneeze at lately, but the Niners' defense has been kind of middle of the road. So we're going to have to see how Robert Saleh does with that offense and that defense. So I'm going to go with Chicago with the upset here, but I wouldn't be shocked if San Fran wins this game. And then for the Monday night game, we've got the LA Rams versus the Atlanta Falcons. The Rams with a heartbreaking loss to the Seattle Seahawks. And my God, Stafford was so fucking good in that game. He was balling out 450 yards of offense. Puka Nacua had 225 yards. And everything was clicking, but then they choked at the very end. They tried to make it a game, even in overtime, but they just failed. I think they got outscored 24-7. Yeah, it wasn't that good. But Puka, buddy, you're a great player and all. You need to come to Jesus talk because the shit you're pulling off the field has been fucking deplorable. And Sean McVay, who, by the way, just recently had another kid, congratulations, he is running on no sleep whatsoever, and he was understandably pissed. And Puka, I believe, got fined for all the shit that he's been doing. And good. He needs to have a come to Jesus talk and needs to get his fucking head on straight. Because if he doesn't, then oh boy, we're going to be in for a wild fucking ride. Meanwhile, the Falcons, they're winning meaningless games. None of the games they win really matter. They beat the Cardinals. Who cares? No one cares really about Atlanta right now. So I got to pick LA for this one. Even when they lost, they're going to have some momentum going for them. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the Rams. No harm, no foul. So, folks, that concludes my NFL Week 17 predictions. Yeah, I'm a little curious how this week's going to go, mainly for the Sunday night game between the Bears and the 49ers. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, tap the big red subscribe button, and tap the bell so when I upload, you guys be notified. Happy holidays, everybody. I'll talk to you guys next one. Join the herd. Talk to you guys next one. Peace out.